Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about 8 super sexy fall fragrances for men that I love, that other women love, that I know all of you will love too. So I'm going to show you guys 8 of my favorite fall fragrances for men at the moment, and this is a mix of niche and designer so that there's something for everyone. Keep in mind that this is also just based off of my husband and I's collection, so I'm sure there are so many delicious scents out there that I just haven't personally experienced. So let me know your favorite in the comments and if you have any of the ones on my list. I obviously cannot properly talk about a fragrance that I don't have in my collection or that I haven't experienced firsthand. So all of these I have experience with. I love every single one of them, and I think you can't go wrong with any of the ones on my list. So let's get started. The first one is a tried and true all-time favorite of mine, and that is MAISON Margiela Jazz Club. Notes for this one are rum, tobacco leaf, vanilla, pink pepper, clary sage, neroli. It is delicious and perfect for the cooler months of the year, and I really think the name is a great representation of the smell. Boozy tobacco, masculine, bad boy in a leather jacket, a bit of nonchalance. It really smells like an attractive man in a jazz club, sipping on a drink with a cool jacket on. It's nonchalant, it's cool, it's one that you cannot go wrong with. And this might be an unpopular opinion, but I do prefer this to By the Fireplace. By the Fireplace to me is a little bit too smoky. I don't really like the smell of smoke or campfire, so this one is far superior to me. Maybe you have a different opinion, but this one takes the cake. Okay, the next one is one that I do not have here with me today, unfortunately, but it is Acro Awake. This one is coffee, cardamom, vetiver, lemon. It's a realistic coffee note that's really strong at the opening and then persists as it dries down, but it also has more of a vivid, milky cardamom that complements that. The citrus and vetiver are a bit subtle. I get a little bit more of the vetiver in the dry down, but to me it smells like a creamy, delicious coffee. But what I like about this one that so many coffee fragrances don't do are the other notes in it that just add an element of uniqueness and intrigue that make it a little bit more interesting than just a coffee scent. I am obsessed with this one. This one is unisex also, so I wear this myself, but I love smelling this on my husband. I think it's really great for the fall and the colder months of the year because it's just very cozy. Think about when you wake up in the morning and get your cup of coffee, just the feeling that kind of comes along with that. For me, it just reminds me of being cozy, curled up, cuddled. So as you can see, I'm obsessed with this one. I think Acro is also a really cool brand. I like a lot of their other fragrances as well. Maybe I'll do more fragrance videos and I can talk about some other ones in the future, but this one I love. It's delectable, just love it. Okay, next up we have one that is very popular for good reason, Dolce & Gabbana the One, but this is the EDP version. Both the EDP that I have here and the EDT are incredible. They both smell amazing, but I do prefer this one because of the longevity. Now you don't have to worry about that as much in the winter time as fragrances tend to stay a little bit longer, but if I had to choose one, I would choose this one for that reason. The top notes for this one, we have grapefruit, coriander, and basil, a little cardamom and orange blossom, and amber, cedar, and tobacco in the base, which is what I smell the most. It's delicious. Even smelling it here, I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, it smells so good. I think this smells so sexy on a man. It's just rich. The tobacco, the amber, it smells like a hug. I know this one is popular and for good reason. It's very sexy. I think this smells incredible on a man. I would not be mad if I smelled this on anybody. Delicious. This next one here is one of my all-time favorite niche fragrances, and that is Parfums de Marly LAYTON. Oh my gosh. This one has apple, vanilla, cardamom, pepper, patchouli, a little cinnamon, lavender. It is just delicious, and I think this one is one that honestly could work all year, but I like it in the cooler months just because it does smell a little bit cozy to me with that apple, vanilla, cinnamon. Divine. This is an amber floral fragrance for both men and women. I like to wear this one as well, but on a man, chef's kiss. This is one of the safest niche purchases you can make. So if you're someone who has not purchased a niche fragrance yet and you want to make that leap, this would be a really great one to start with. Not only is it mass appealing, it's versatile, you can wear it all year, and it is just flat out delicious. I love this one. It has kind of a minty apple opening, then kind of a sweet and spicy vanilla. It's very warm, very sexy, and perfect for fall. Next up is Boss Bottled Intense. Another designer here. This one has apple, cinnamon, vanilla, cedar, sandalwood, plum. I mean, it's a classic DNA, very versatile. Again, I think you could get away with wearing this more than just the fall, but it does kind of have fall feelings. The guy who's wearing this one is great boyfriend or husband material. You're the type of guy who takes your girlfriend to the apple orchard or the pumpkin patch, even though you don't really want to go, but you do it to make her happy because you're very kind. And I just think this one is very wholesome. Again, very classic DNA, versatile, simple, to the point, pretty affordable. Last time I checked, I don't put prices on these lists because they do kind of change a lot. And if you look on places like Fragrance Net, you can normally get them for a little bit cheaper. So can't go wrong with this one. Back when we used to post on the fragrance channel, we had girls come on and smell different things and say if they liked them, if they didn't. And a lot of the girls liked this one. So can't go wrong. All right, another niche one and another one of my favorites that I've mentioned in past videos before, and that is Floris Honey Oud. This one has honey, oud, bergamot, rose, amber, vanilla. Oh, this one is caramelized honey with a citrus off the top, and it dries down to a more floral, woodsy amber oud. I will give a disclaimer here for this one. It is a little bit mature. A younger guy could absolutely pull this off. My husband was wearing this in his early 20s, but I do think it is a little bit more mature. Now, I love it. I think it smells like a distinguished, classy gentleman, which who doesn't love that? Oh, I just love this one, and it is very different than anything on this list. A lot of the ones on this list are kind of similar. They are sweeter. They are, you know, very fall vibes. This one has that rose and that oud in it that makes it a little bit different than anything else on this list. The guy that I picture in my head when I smell this one is classy. He's a gentleman. He's distinguished. Maybe he really likes to wear tweed or a cool wool coat with a scarf. I'm a fan. And just a personal note here, I adore Floris as a brand. I love so many of their other fragrances, both for men and for women. We have a lot of them. I actually wore a Floris fragrance on my wedding day, so I am a huge fan of this brand. If this one maybe is not for you, I would highly recommend checking out some of their other stuff. If you have questions, you can let me know down in the comments and I'll tell you the ones that I like. But great brand to check out if you haven't already. And a little less mainstream, especially here in the United States, I have never smelled Floris on anybody. My next one here is one that, again, I unfortunately do not have here with me today. I tore this place up looking for it and I can't find it anywhere. We moved recently and have a very small bottle of this, so it is lost somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I hope to find it because I love when my husband wears this one. The notes for this one are interesting. It's cranberry, grapefruit, lemon, amber, coffee, woods, and saffron. It's a fruity, sweet, kind of edible coffee citrus scent. Again, when we did the reaction videos over on the fragrance channel, there was one video specifically where we had this one in a lineup. Every single girl ranked this as their #1 favorite, and it was the most affordable one on the list, which I thought was really interesting and just goes to show you don't need to spend a ton of money to smell good. Of course, the niche, more expensive scents are very fun and they're more interesting and often have a lot more going on, but really just going back to the basics, Polo Red. And lastly, we have Valentino UOMO Intense. And the name of this one tells no lies. It is indeed intense. This is iris, vanilla, leather, tonka bean, a bit of mandarin orange, and clary sage in there. This one is very creamy. It has a mild sweetness to it. Again, the staying power on this one, top notch. I could see this one being perfect for more of a date night or a night out. I would not necessarily recommend wearing this one during the day. I think it's intense, and I think wearing it during the day would just be a little, maybe too much. I think a lot of the other ones on this list would do a better job at being a day scent. Again, this one is very like nighttime, sexy date night to me. And congrats, if you made it to the end of the video, you get a bonus fragrance that is not on my list. This is going to be a little bonus here for all of the people who made it till the end. This one is Notorious Oud from DS and Durga. And I didn't include it on my list because it's niche, and niche is a good way to describe this one. I don't think that everyone would like it. I think it is an acquired taste. It's a little bit odd, as are a lot of the fragrances from DS and Durga, but for the right person, I could see this really being a great option. It's something very unconventional. It's something that you're not smelling a ton out and about in the wild. You would smell different than probably every other guy if you had this one. It's not sweet. It's not like cozy fall vibes. It's very woodsy. I mean, it's oud. Oud is a resinous wood, and that's exactly what this smells like. It's very woody. It just reminds me of fall for that reason, in a very back to the basics, down to earth type of way. And I would recommend getting a sample of this one before purchasing or smelling it somewhere, just because I could see a lot of people not necessarily being a fan of this one, but I like it. And this is my list and my video, so that's why it's here. And if you're not familiar with the brand, DS Durga is another really cool one to check out. I like a lot of their other scents as well, but this one stood out to me as a more earthy type of fall scent, which is very different than anything on the list today. And if you're someone watching who isn't really into the sweeter fall type of scents, I think that you can't go wrong with just smelling clean. And there are a ton of fragrances out there that really just give off a clean type of feel. They're nothing crazy, maybe they're a little bit basic, but you cannot go wrong with just smelling like a clean man. Everyone loves that. So guys, that is all I have for 8 fall fragrances, plus a bonus if you stayed till the end, that I am loving right now. If you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Let me know your favorite fall fragrance down in the comments. If you've tried any of the ones on my list today, let me know what you think. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.